Coming up on Chasing the Sun, Justin and Travis abandoned the perfectly good boat to go super shallow in search of Travis's first redfish. On a paddleboard, that is.
So when I mentioned to Travis we were gonna go paddleboard fishing, he was like, nah, not gonna happen.
Good news is, if I fall down right here, it's only about 5 inches deep. No tippy-tippy. I like no tippy-tippy.
Chasing the Sun is brought to you by Island Murata and Stewart Boatworks, from flats to fathoms. Kicker Audio, living loud. Pelican, built to protect. Mercury Marine. And by Z-Man, the science and art of fishing.
Look over the top of the trees right here, condos. If you can see the top of the condos right there. This whole stretch, all you see is white sand, condos, all that, and then right on the other side, all marsh. So when I mentioned to Travis we were gonna go paddleboard fishing, he was like, nah, not gonna happen.
You know, paddleboards in the past for me have kind of been, they've never really been a necessity, because I was always, you know, we had boats and we were fishing on tour, and everything was time sensitive, so you don't really want to take the time to sit back and smell the roses and enjoy the world environment, you know, the world around you and the environment, and slow down.
I got this whole plan in my head, you know, and it makes perfect sense. And he was not about it until I explained the whole plan, how we're not gonna paddle to where we're gonna fish. We're gonna mothership them. He was still a little leery about the whole paddleboard thing, but these paddleboards were on extremely stable and they're built to fish on. And even though Travis is, you know, big bulky guy, he got on this paddleboard and was extremely comfortable and able to get that board closer than you can get any boat to fish. So this water's been coming in all night. So there'll be some fish out here around the fringes of this marsh, but most of them are gonna be up in that marsh.
You know, at 5 o'clock this morning when I woke up at the condo, the waves were breaking on the beach instead of the sandbar.
Oh yeah?
It's kind of my tide checker.
That's right, that's right.
It's nice to slow down and smell the roses, and truthfully, it's kind of fun to actually have some new experiences when it comes to fishing. You know, jump on a paddleboard. I've surfed and wakeboarded and done all that stuff, so I figure, you know, it's board sport and do it. Yeah, it's a little different, because when you're on a board and you're moving, there's water pushing back on you. On a paddleboard, when you're going slow, if you step on the edge, it goes down. And so do I. That's where I wanted to be anyway. Well, I remembered that there's a little pocket there I could step off. Get on here the easy way. I've never been to the area, so I didn't know what the bottom was like, if it's soft or mushy, or you sink in 10 inches or 12 inches, and then, you know, you fall off the board. No, it's like revert back to Texas. Hey, I can walk around, wade fish. Let's do that. It's so easy. I don't know how I lost my balance. I must have looked up.
Pretty cool, relaxing place to be fishing.
Mm-hmm.
Not many people get to ever see this either.
Birds and wildlife. Pretty cool back in here.
Yes. Same way it looks now, the way it looked 1,000 years ago.
Oh, well, without that prop scar.
Well, that was from you. That's your paddle scar.
Oh, that's a mud motor right there.
Okay, maybe that was me. So boats in general have one problem, and it's just a natural problem that they all have, is there's not a perfect one for every situation. And we are always searching to fill those voids. And we do that by taking a boat that rides good, fishes good on the trolling motor, and then we try to fish quiet on it. And it's not always easy. So to combat that, we take a boat that rides extremely well, can get extremely shallow, and we put paddle boards on it. Now we're able to take those paddle boards to a new area and have a level of stealth that no boat with a motor on it can have. We use gear to kind of cover up mistakes that we make. If you're on a really quiet boat, it helps you get closer to fish. You know, that goes for a lot of different types of equipment that we use, but that all changes when we're paddleboard fishing because we don't have a lot of equipment. Matter of fact, it is the simplest form of fishing that I know how to do. And what I mean by that is we don't have tackle boxes. We don't have an arsenal of rods and reels. We take one rod and reel, got him. One soft plastic on a hook. Nice fish. And you can go out there and catch fish all day without needing anything else.
Part of what makes fishing fun is adventure. You know, and my adventure usually comes from me knowing the limits of the vessel in which I'm in. So I push the limits to the very edge, but I don't push them too far to cause myself trouble, like getting stuck on a sandbar or an oyster bar, or getting in a place where the tide's falling and you get stuck because you let the tide drop out. Now with paddleboard, I never really knew the limits because I haven't spent any time on one. And I went around this one island, and as the tide's falling, well, it was like an hour of my life that I lost, and Justin was jamming fish on the other side, which, you know, it's okay. I had fun. I got to walk through the mud and the hard sand, and I've never done that before.
People are limited by the equipment that they have, the effort that they're willing to put in. I guess I'm a little more extreme than a lot of people, and I never see myself as limited by anything. If a fish is willing to get there, I'm willing to figure out a way to get to them. There's a ton of fish this size in here, and we fished 8 and 10 pound braid on a 2500 size reel, and it is absolutely perfect for these guys. That's about that's a chunky guy. Probably a 5 pound redfish right there. Ha, look at that. And I know everywhere is different, but this is a Z-Man Paddlers in Houdini is the color. And I can't, one bait that I've caught more redfish on than that right there. It seems odd, but we take a boat to its limits. When it gets too shallow for a boat, we get on a paddleboard. We take a paddleboard to its limits. Got him. And a lot of times that's only a few inches of water. Now you say, can a fish really live in that shallow of water? Well, a redfish can get about anywhere. That's so cool. He's just laying right on that light sand.
Justin got him a fish while I was back here messing around.
Ugh.
Hey, how many redfish you catch while I was back there stuck in the marsh?
Maybe 30 or so?
Dude.
Anytime I'm on a boat, I'm competing. Why? Because we're fishing. And fishing's fun, right? Yeah, it is. It's fun all the time. You can catch nothing, catch a lot, and it's always fun. And that's what I like about fishing. But my dad taught me as a kid, there's nothing more fun than winning. I've never won at anything and not had fun.
Good news is, if I fall down right here, it's only about 5 inches deep. You got to be right in the middle of the paddleboard when it gets really shallow.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Unbeknownst to me, at the time, I didn't know everything was a competition with Justin, which now that I know that everything's a competition, I kind of approach him a little differently. But for me, it was really just kind of getting my feet under me for the most part. So the fact that I had my butt kicked on the catching game, it's not surprising because I'd never been on a paddleboard before, you know. So you got a cooler and a rod and a paddle, and it's kind of like standing on a workout ball. You know, it's not really made for doing that, but it's possible. It's certainly not with my human stature. Those boards are made for like little people. You know, Justin, for instance. Golf athlete over here. So he's pretty good at it.
Paddleboarding allows you to actually learn an area because you're going slower and you get to see things happen over a time frame that's elongated versus flying through there in a boat. And it's super cool to actually learn, you know, this little pothole holds a couple of trout on the edge, and the redfish, when they do their circle, they come back around to this point and they hit it every single time. And so by slowing down, you truly learn the area that you're fishing versus just blow by it and think you might know what's going on when you really never do.
There he is.
And I got a redfish.
Got him.
After I spooked him by being noisy. Oh look, I'm going on a sleigh ride. Come on, take me for a ride, little buddy. What's up, little brother? How you doing? Cute little booger.
Is that Travis's first paddleboard fish?
See how I did that?
That's right. Hey, at least you shoved it up in the grass.
Well, I got enough duck hunting under me. I know what to do with the
That's the
P-rod.
other way to anchor it.
Come on, little brother.
Sweet.
Love catching these little guys in that shallow water. Come here, come here, come here. Oh, yes, sir. Oh, look at how cute he is. He's a little squirmer. Like, I'm not ready to be still yet.
I know.
Oh, Z-Man did the trick. He turned around pretty quick. Oh.
Yeah, I think these fish, there's no way they see people very often up in this marsh. Look at that, that's so cool. Never gets old seeing them redfish swimming around.
No way. That was super cool.
The stealth is actually one of the coolest parts about paddleboard. You can get so close to a fish that if you move your rod tip or twitch or put your paddle in the water, you can spook a fish. And we had a situation where we're coming around this bend and I've got a couple of fish coming at me and they popped out so close to me that I actually couldn't do anything about it. And Justin was off to my side. So I used the paddle as my pointer and gave it, Justin, get these fish.
There he is, right there, right there, right there,
See
right
him?
there. Get him, get him, get him, get him, get him, get him.
I don't even see them.
Right here in front of you, right here, right off my push
Oh
pole.
gosh, yeah.
Oh, he sees it, he ate it. So cool,
How about
dude. I
that?
watched that whole thing go down.
And he made a perfect shot, and I got to see the lure come in, land in front of the fish eat. It was like 5 feet away from me. It was super cool. And you can't do that in a boat, because number one, rarely is there another boat next to you with one of your buddies.
Hey, that's sharing the love right there. You would have twitched,
Oh yeah,
he was gone.
see ya. Yeah, no, I had no chance. That's just predatory skills right there, brother.
That's right, good teamwork.
It was super cool. Matter of fact, it was one of those times where I actually wish I had a camera. It was so cool.
That was the best eat ever.
Boom.
Gotta love me some sight fishing. It was nice to watch him react to that lure too.
Yeah. So last year when Sam Root was here paddleboard fishing with us, you know, we had two very different techniques. Mine is, I look at the situation, I pick the best bait for that, which, no surprise, it was the same Houdini soft plastic, but we had very similar conditions, and that's why I was fishing that bait. Now Sam, on the other hand, he decides he needs to try every lure in his box trying to catch these redfish. And that's just two different ways of doing it. I feel like I've put the homework in, I've fished these fish in this scenario a lot of times, and I pick out the best bait to do it.
Hi, my name is David Morris. I'm the Park Service Specialist here at St. Andrews State Park. St. Andrews State Park is situated on the east end of Panama City Beach. Here in the state park, we have over 1,000 acres of protected land here on St. Andrews proper and also across the pass at Shell Island. St. Andrews State Park offers camping, 176 campsites. We also have a boat ramp with 2 launches. We have 2 different day use areas for beach access, 2 different piers, one in Grand Lagoon and one that extends 500 feet into the Gulf of Mexico. This is a popular location during the summer for beach use, fishing, boating, jet skiing, all other activities. We also have hiking trails, and it's also a very diverse area for wildlife. We have several threatened and protected species that are here within the park. We also have 2 hiking trails that will take you through various plant communities here in the park. In those plant communities you can see deer, other wildlife such as wading birds or birds of prey, osprey, bald eagles. Come and join us this summer at St. Andrews State Park. It's a very unique location where you could both scuba dive and surf within the same park. So whether you want to hike or fish or just enjoy a day at the beach, come and join us. We're open every day of the year.
Sam Root and Jeff Snyder are pro paddleboard anglers who rig their boards for maximum fishability. Different boards take different accessories, but being stealthy on the water is the main goal.
One of the most important accessories that I got on this boat, believe it or not, is the paddle system. Because when you're paddleboard fishing, you cannot paddle and fish at the same time. So what I do, I put the paddle down and I pick up the rod in one motion. One of the most important things when you do put down the rod is be very quiet. Whether you're in a plastic kayak or a fiberglass stand-up paddleboard like this, you want to be quiet because you're very, very close to the fish. This paddle system right here has rubberized edges, so when you put your paddle down, it does not make a clunking noise. And I tried to use leashes and stuff before, but it eventually gets tangled up on stuff and just one more thing to screw you up, right? So this paddle system, whether you're surf launching or trying to be quiet, approaching a tailing fish per se, will change your life when you don't make that noise and spook your fish.
You never know exactly what you're going to get into on the flats around here. I mean, you could get into a big school of Jack Crevalle, and you definitely want your 20-pound equipment, or, you know, nice school of redfish. You find tailors, you can find them in schools, you find singles and doubles on the beach. It's a great fishery, and you want to be as prepared as possible without loading your paddleboard down with a ton of equipment. A key feature that I run is the power pole micro anchor. It's awesome for several reasons. If I do see a school of fish and I hook one, without the power pole, I have to either stake myself down or throw an anchor so he doesn't drag me up over the school and spook everything out. With the power pole micro anchor system, I can reach down, hit the button, and easily deploy my anchor, and I'm stuck right there. It's swift, silent, secure. It's a great asset to the boat. It's all self-contained, has its own battery pack, very light. It's good for water up to about 7 feet deep. And the great thing about it is I can pull it off, put it on my micro skiff or any other equipment that I have that's 1,500 pounds or less. So that is a great asset to have when you're inshore fishing.
This is pretty cool. Sand marsh, I like it. Come back in here and walk all around all this. You guys have it made duck hunting.
Oh, no doubt.
Seriously.
No, our dogs have it made.
Right? Something back there dying. Hear it? Oh man, so you're gonna paddle around, go get the boat? That way 2 miles? I can actually see it. See it shining? Way on the other side of that third hammock of pine trees.
I don't even want to look over there and see it. That's a long ways away. Nope, can't see it.
I could use my afternoon workout. I might go with you.
I'm going to tell myself it's just right around the corner.
You know what we could do? Just chill out for a little while, let the sun go on the other side, and not worry about going and eating bull crabs, and just get our afternoon workout in and actually paddle across the marsh.
You just X'd off eating bull crabs, so your plan's worthless.
Yeah.